Welcome back, True Seeker. A follow-up to this mosquito emergency in the state of Massachusetts, which was announced August 16th, 2024. I put out a short video on this last night, and I said it reminded me of how 4 years ago, Bill Gates did something called Mosquito Week. And if you remember, he premiered that with a video on YouTube of the Grim Reaper. And as it zoomed in the camera, the Grim Reaper was made out of mosquitoes. I have the link to that in this post on my website, GematriaEffectNews, if you want to go back and check that out. But again, let's look at just how by the numbers this is. The announcement was August 16th, a perfect date for a mosquito emergency in Massachusetts for two reasons. First of all, the date can be written 16/8, like 168. And again, you learn this code at ABC123, you realize the news is rolling out every day by a code. Been showing this for over 11 years now. Massachusetts equates to 168. M's the 13th letter in the alphabetic order. Again, there's a reason they gave us an order. A's the first, S is the 19th, so on. Massachusetts 168. If you take the alphabetic order with numerology, Massachusetts equates to 33. And August 16th is the day leaving 137 days left in the year, which is the 33rd prime number. So again, perfect date for an emergency in Massachusetts. And with regards to Bill Gates, again, he announced his mosquito week August 17th, 2020. So practically 4 years ago to the day, he made this announcement. And again, it was creepy because it was the Grim Reaper, and the camera zoomed in on the Grim Reaper, and what got up close, it was like a gazillion buzzing mosquitoes in the shape of the Grim Reaper. And I still have the post up on my website. Of course, YouTube took down my old videos on this because they've taken down so many channels. Here we are on channel 25. I wouldn't be surprised if I went back and saw that I was struck for this video at the time. But we were talking about how, back then he called it Mosquito Week, which had the same gematria as pandemic, the same gematria as genetically modified mosquitoes. They're a world at risk simulation it fit in with. The Great Reset it fit in with. Sustainable Development Goals, those come from Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030. But you can go back and watch this. It's actually still on Bill Gates' YouTube page as well. Just go back to his post from August 17, 2020. That's the thumbnail. It's Mosquito Week. It's funny, it's 55 seconds long, the video, because Boston, Massachusetts equals 55, and they're saying this happened just outside of Boston. But, there's a lot to say about this. You can go back and read the older posts. Notice how in that post I was pointing out how his Mosquito Week announcement came 42 weeks after his birthday, and mosquito and vaccine are 42. Well, it's the same thing here this time around because this happened exactly 42 weeks into his age. Again, almost 4 years to the day of his Mosquito Week announcement. And what do we know about 4? 4 is the number associated with death from the Far East. And what are they saying in Massachusetts? They're saying this is a deadly virus. More fear. Again, if you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language, the alphabetic order in reverse, and both orders with numerology applied. You can also see how mosquito and Bill Gates overlap. Keep in mind, Bill Gates operates out of the 42nd state, Washington State. MIT is a big 42 university that Bill Gates contributes a lot of money to. Of course, that's the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And there's a number of other things that are interesting here. I'll continue to do more research on this. I noticed the CDC put out a big update on this on May 15th. May 15th, familiar date, right? That was the Cladex simulation, 666 days before the pandemic was declared, May 15th, 2018. And then 2 years later, it was the day Operation Warp Speed was declared. Remember, to the Romans, it's Mercurialia, to celebrate Mercury. Google wanted everybody to know in 2012 that if you were going to question Mercury and jabs, you were going to get deleted. Your channel was going to go bye-bye. And they did. They exterminated everyone's channel questioning those things. So, like I've been saying this whole time, They execute their plans by a code. They're very in your face about it once you recognize it. And seemingly very few people in the world are willing to talk about it. I don't know anything that's more evidence-based to expose the agendas. And so many people don't want to talk about it. That needs to change if it's ever going to stop. I mean, the only thing that's going to stop this is mass awareness, which is what we're trying to promote here. But it's hard when Google's deleted 20-some channels, buried us in the algorithm, and now I get 1% of the views that I got 8 years ago. And sadly, that's a real stat. 1% of the views that we got 8 years ago is where we're at here in 2024. That means we need 100 more people doing what I'm doing to get back to where we were 8 years ago. And that actually shouldn't be that hard, as many people as there are in the world who should be concerned about these things. And honestly, if people are too slow and think all this is a coincidence, I say, hey, Bill, just unleash the mosquitoes and let's get on with it. Okay? Let's just get on with it, Bill. Bring on the Georgia Guidestones. These people aren't going to know what hit them. Till next time.